Hi, imagine this. You wake up with a clear head. The sun is soft through the window. Your phone is charged. Your mind is full of plans. Today, you know exactly what to do. The route is set. The schedule's tight. Nothing's out of place. Everything feels under control. Meeting at 10. Benesext. Emails done by 12 at lunch, exactly when it should be. Workout. Call a friend. And by the evening, that sweet feeling of a day well done. Tasks checked. Boxes ticked. Order. It feels like the world is finally cooperating. It's not fighting you. You move, and everything moves with you. But it only takes one notification. A message. Meetings cancelled. A call. Sorry, emergency. We have to reschedule. A traffic jam that breaks your rhythm. An email that throws you off. An unexpected no. A mistake. A headline. A human glitch. Or maybe just life being life. Suddenly, you're off track, thrown, pulled, ripped out of your flow. And that perfect structure you built, it starts to crumble. One piece falls, and the rest comes down like a house of cards. You feel it rising, irritation, anxiety, frustration. It's like the ground just disappeared under your feet. Sound familiar? You're not alone. We all want control. We all crave predictability. We build plans to keep chaos at bay, but it always finds a way in. It's not outside the system. It is the system. The real question isn't if things will fall apart. It's how you'll respond when they do. Today, we're talking about what to do when the plan falls apart. When life doesn't ask if it's convenient. When chaos shows up in your day, like an uninvited guest. And most importantly, how to stay calm. Not fake calm, but real calm. From within, we're talking about stoic philosophy, about practice, about what the wise did when everything collapsed, and how we can apply that. No togas, no marble columns. Just here, in our real, messy, modern lives. Because Stoicism isn't a book on a shelf. It's an anchor. It's a way to stand still when everything shakes. This episode is a journey through chaos, a journey back to yourself, to inner stillness. Welcome, you're sitting in front of the screen, the day's plan in shreds. Notifications keep popping up, one after another. You feel something tightening inside. Anger rises fast. Your body tenses. You want to snap. Close everything. Say, screw it. Blame someone. Anyone. People, circumstances, yourself, even the universe. This is the moment. You're standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar. You've walked it before. You lose your temper. You spiral. You keep replaying how it should have gone. That path is dark, but weirdly comfortable. It gives you a sense of control, an illusion of power. You shout, and it feels like you're holding the world by the throat. But there's another path. It doesn't shout, it's not familiar, it's quiet. It starts with a pause, with a question. What if I didn't fight this? What if you didn't wrestle with the chaos, but used it? What if you didn't panic, but observed? What if you didn't resist, but leaned in? It sounds beautiful. But in practice, it's hard. Because since childhood, we've been taught, control it, hold it, fix it, push it, force it. No one taught us how to let go. Everything in our world is built around control, productivity, schedules, forecasts, planning. And when something jumps off those rails, we panic. It feels like it's not just the world falling apart. It's us. You try to act. You pick up the phone again. Start typing, solving, organizing. And suddenly, you're tired. Tired of the very idea that you're supposed to hold everything together. This is where resistance turns into retreat, and you whisper to yourself, "No, this doesn't work. I'm not ready. I don't know another way." That's a normal step. Every transformation begins with resistance. The Stoics knew this. They weren't superhuman. They got angry. They were scared. They felt overwhelmed too. But they learned to see further. They understood chaos is not the enemy. Control is a myth, and peace is a choice. You don't have to control everything. You can learn to be. This is where the path begins. You might not fully believe it's possible to live differently, but you've already heard the voice. Quiet, somewhere deep inside. What if? I just tried? You're sitting. It's already happened. Plans collapsed. People let you down. Things didn't go your way. You're drained. And then, silence. Not outside, inside. Like space. A small gap between reaction and response. You hear a voice. It's not from the world, it's from within. We suffer not from the events themselves, but from our interpretation of them. That's Seneca, a Roman philosopher, a statesman. He lived in a brutal world, conspiracies, exiles, executions, and yet he left us words about peace, about balance, even when everything around you is falling apart. You read that sentence again, and suddenly you see it. Yes, things happen. But we suffer because of our thoughts about them, because of how we spin them inside our heads. You spill your coffee and tell yourself the day is ruined. You get rejected and decide, I'm a failure. You get silence and believe, they don't respect me. But these aren't facts. They're perspectives. Stories. You tell yourself. Now imagine, what if you could see events without the story, just as they are? That's when the second voice steps in. Steady, clear, like a teacher, Epictetus. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Peace comes from knowing the difference. He was a slave. He lost his leg, but he taught freedom, inner freedom, the kind no one can take from you, the freedom to respond with awareness. He split life in two. Very simply, what's in my control? My thoughts, my actions, my judgments, my reactions. What's not in my control? The weather, other people, the economy, time. Illness. The past, and he said, you suffer when you cling to what you can't change. You're free when you focus on what you can. You can't control if the bus is late, but you can control whether you get angry or just walk. You can't control if someone misunderstood you, but you can choose. Take offense. Or calmly explain. You can't stop the rain, but you can grab an umbrella. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They felt just like us. But they practiced a simple, firm, honest practice. Separate. What's within your power? Act. What's not? Accept. It's like breathing, a place to return to. Again and again. Slowly like a mantra. This is within my power. This is not. I choose where to spend my energy. And just like that, you're not drowning in the chaos anymore. You're standing, yes. There's noise all around, but inside, clarity. You don't know the whole path yet. But now, you have a starting point, a line, and that is the beginning of strength. You're on the bus. It suddenly breaks. Stuck in traffic. Minutes are slipping away. Your meeting's in 20, and you're not gonna make it. You stare out the window, thumb scrolling on your phone. That familiar frustration bubbles up. Your heart beats faster. You're already crafting your apology in your head. You can feel it. That slow rise of anger, as if it could somehow fix the situation. But no, the bus isn't moving, and you don't control the road. And then you remember. You can't control the traffic, but you can control how you respond to it. You pull out your headphones, put on your favorite podcast or music. Open your notes and jot down a few thoughts. Text your friend. Hey, I'll probably be late, but it's okay. A minute later, you're calm. Almost. Nothing around you has changed, but everything feels different. Want to know how this worked for me? One day, brutal. Everything was scheduled, tight. Tasks, meetings, deadlines. I was in the zone, productive, focused. Then the call. Hey, we've got a situation. The whole plan's shifting. We need to reschedule, rethink, rework everything. Now! Inside me, instant panic. That sinking feeling. Well, that's it. Everything's falling apart. Like bricks collapsing out of the wall. First instinct? Tense up, drop everything, take control, fix it all myself. But in that moment, I remembered Epictetus, and I got up from my desk, walked outside. No headphones, and said out loud, "What can I control right now?" The answer was simple. My breath, my thoughts, my response. I couldn't restore the plan, but I could choose not to destroy myself over it. Sat on a bench. Closed my eyes. 5 minutes. Just silence. And then, lightness. Not because the problem disappeared, but because I didn't make it bigger than it was. I didn't finish everything on time that day, but I stayed true to myself. And honestly, that was way more important. That's the essence of Stoicism. It doesn't make decisions for you. It doesn't make life perfect. It simply gives you a choice, right in the moment when it feels like you don't have one. And now you know. You can try. Next time you're stuck in line, angry on the train, arguing with someone you love, pause, one breath, and ask yourself, what, in this moment, is actually in my control? And maybe, just maybe, that breath will be the beginning of something new. You're on the bus. It suddenly brakes, stuck, in traffic. Minutes are slipping away. Your meeting's in 20, and you're not gonna make it. You stare out the highway window, thumb scrolling on your phone. That familiar frustration bubbles up. Your heart beats faster. You're already crafting your apology in your head. You can feel it, that slow rise of anger, as if it could somehow fix the situation. But no, the bus isn't moving, and you don't control the road. And then you remember. You can't control the traffic, but you can control how you respond to it. You pull out your headphones, put on your favorite podcast or music, open your notes and jot down a few thoughts. Text your friend, "Hey, I'll probably be late, but it's okay." A minute later, you're calm. Almost nothing around you has changed, but everything feels different. Want to know how this worked for me? One day. Brutal. Everything was scheduled. Tight. Tasks, meetings, deadlines. I was in the zone. Productive. Focused. Then the call. Hey, we've got a situation. The whole plan's shifting. We need to reschedule, rethink, rework everything. Now. Inside me, instant panic. That sinking feeling. Well, that's it. Everything's falling apart. Like bricks collapsing out of the wall. First instinct? Tense up, drop everything, take control, fix it all myself. But in that moment, I remembered Epictetus, and I just got up from my desk, walked outside, no headphones, and said out loud, "What can I control right now?" The answer was simple. My breath, my thoughts, my response. I couldn't restore the plan, but I could choose not to destroy myself over it. Sat on a bench, closed my eyes. 5 minutes, just silence. And then, lightness. Not because the problem disappeared, but because I didn't make it bigger than it was. I didn't finish everything on time that day. But I stayed true to myself, and honestly, that was way more important. That's the essence of Stoicism. It doesn't make decisions for you. It doesn't make life perfect. It simply gives you a choice, right in the moment when it feels like you don't have one. And now you know, you can try. Next time you're stuck in line, angry on the train, arguing with someone you love, pause, one breath, and ask yourself, what in this moment is actually in my control. And maybe, just maybe, that breath will be the beginning of something new. You took the first step. You chose not to react. You tried to stay still, while everything else rushed by. And it worked. A little. For a day. You felt what it's like, not to be a victim of chaos, but to be the one watching, choosing, responding. But then comes tomorrow, and again, disruption. You oversleep. You forget something important. Someone sends a sharp message. A conflict, an unexpected no where you were hoping for a yes, and once again, you feel it, the tightening inside, like nothing's changed. The same frustration, the same sting, the same voice. Why is everything off track again? This is where the real work begins. Because Stoicism isn't enlightenment. It's not. I understood once, now I'm forever calm. It's a practice, daily. Like brushing your teeth, like stretching, like breathing. You can't expect to change in a single try. You're learning to be yourself all over again. You're rewiring how you respond to the world. There's one stoic exercise that really helps. Negative visualization. Sounds odd, doesn't it? We're used to visualizing success, joy, triumph. But the Stoics? They say, visualize what could go wrong. Every evening before bed, ask yourself, what if I'm late tomorrow? What if someone cancels on me? What if I hear no? What if there's a storm? Not with panic, with presence. Like an observer. You're not programming yourself for failure. You're preparing. You're making your soul more flexible. Because when you've already imagined failure, it doesn't break you. It just becomes part of reality. And there's another tool, the morning journal. Just 2 minutes. Every morning, open a page and write, what could go wrong today? I might be late. A meeting might fall through. Or there might be miscommunication. I might not get the result I'm hoping for. Then, in a second column, how can I respond to that? Calmly. If I'm late, I'll apologize and adjust. If the meeting's cancelled, I'll find. Another time. If there's conflict, I'll listen before I speak. You're not programming yourself for a perfect day. You're preparing for a real one. The kind with rough edges and chances to grow. You will mess up. You will lose it sometimes. But every single time, you can come back to yourself, to the practice. To one simple question. What's in my control right now? You're walking a path with no finish line, no trophies, but with every step, more steadiness, more clarity, more inner freedom. You're not perfect, you're in progress, and that is everything. It was just a regular day. No sign, no warning. You woke up like always, made some tea, checked your schedule. Everything was on track. And then, the usual, a phone call. The wrong one, words that hit sideways. Plans unravel. The script slips right through your fingers, and you almost don't notice. There's no panic. No explosion. You just don't react the way you used to. You don't raise your voice. You don't type in a fury. You don't run loops in your head. Revenge, fear, self-blame. You breathe. Just breathe. Inhale. Exhale. You sit. Look out the window. It's raining. People rush past. Someone sends something sharp, but you don't rush. You're grounded, and in that moment, you realize this is it. This is strength. Not the kind that clenches a fist. Not the kind that drowns out the room. The kind that stays still. You're not colder. You're deeper. You're not numb. You're just not obligated to respond to everything that moves around you. You're no longer a servant to circumstance. You've become the observer, the captain, a rock in the storm. You remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. If you remain calm and self-contained, Nothing can touch you. Like a stone, dropped into still water, it falls and disappears, leaving no ripples. And now, you feel it. Not as a theory, but in your body, in your heart. You're living what you used to only read about. You're not avoiding life. You're stepping into it, without losing yourself. And the most surprising part, you don't celebrate it. There's no orchestra, no victory moment. You just move forward, calmly, deeper, with the quiet sense that something inside has finally clicked into place. The world is still imperfect. Traffic, emails, people, pain, misunderstandings, they're all still here. But you are different. You don't react, you choose. And in that choice is all your power. No noise, no drama. You came back to the same life. Same room, same job, same people, same traffic, same headlines, same plans, still just one surprise away from falling apart. Nothing's changed, except one thing: you. You're no longer chasing control over everything. You're not building a fortress inside, out of schedules, expectations, and hopes that everything will go according to plan. Now you're building something else, an axis, an anchor. Not power over the outside, but calm within. You start noticing. The logic of your reactions has changed. Before, you'd wake up calculating threats. Will I make it? What if I'm late? Who's gonna screw things up today? How do I prevent that? Now, you wake up and ask, what's in my control today? And whatever happens, how do I want to respond? You're not trying to save the day anymore. You're living it. You're not perfect. You still get annoyed, tired, emotional, but you don't get lost in it anymore. You know how to pause, how to step back, how not to let emotion drag you by the collar like it used to. You don't lose yourself, even in the middle of the storm. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Life is like a river. You can't stop its flow, but you can learn to stay afloat." And you have. You no longer wait for life to become softer. You became steadier. You no longer hope everything goes perfectly. You became more flexible. You've learned that peace isn't about silence around you, it's about clarity within. And now, you carry that with you, wherever you go. Whatever day you wake up to, whatever headline or surprise hits you. You're not made of steel. You're not made of glass. You're like a tree. Flexible, but rooted. Alive. Real. Steady. You came back. Home. But you're not the same. You're calm because you finally understand. Your strength doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from the calm you bring, no matter what the world throws at you. You've walked the path. You've heard what it sounds like when plans fall apart. When a wave rises inside you. When the voice of panic pulls you toward reaction, and the quieter voice of reason teaches you to breathe. You've listened to Seneca, to Epictetus, to Marcus Aurelius. You've met yourself, the real you. Not perfect, not made of steel, but present, awake, alive. And now, you don't just know. Now you practice. Here are 3 simple steps. They'll take just a few minutes, but they'll change the way you move through each day. In the morning, grab a notebook. Ask yourself, what could go off track today? I might run late. A meeting might fall through. Someone might be rude or sharp. Something I hoped for might not happen. Then, the second part, how can I respond to that calmly? Accept it. Find a solution. Stay grounded. You're not setting yourself up for failure. You're preparing yourself to be steady. In the evening, open your notebook again. Ask yourself 2 questions. What happened today that was out of my control? Which of those things can I let go of? You'll see just how much energy goes into fighting things that were never yours to hold, and how much lighter life feels when you stop wrestling the wind. And throughout the day, like a mantra, this is outside my control. I choose calm. You don't have to react to everything. You don't have to conquer the world. You simply choose to be yourself. Calm, present, clear. Now, you have everything you need. You know the path of the Stoic isn't about muscle, it's about perspective. You know the chaos won't disappear, but you can move through it with dignity. So here's my challenge to you. Next time, when things fall apart again, when someone breaks a promise, when the tech fails, when you find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time, you'll make a choice. You can be the one who lashes out, panics, blames, or you can be the one who pauses, remembers, this is outside my control, and remains calm, because now you know. Your real strength isn't in controlling the world, it's in how you meet it. Stoicism. It's not a theory, not abstract quotes from dead philosophers, not dry ideas on a shelf. It's armor. Thin, invisible, but strong. It doesn't make you numb. It makes you steady, free, fully alive. You don't control the world, but you can choose how you walk through it. Put on the armor and go. Until next time.